Boom. I think we're
Boom,
live.
baby.
Guess we're live. I don't know.
Boom shakalaka.
Figure it out in a second. Hey, actually, it said scheduled for
Deletion.
1:41 p.m. It's scheduled for 6 minutes in the future. Huh. Go figure. But it's actually live now. I see it.
YouTube knows what we're gonna do in the future,
Yeah, apparently so.
bro.
All
I need
right.
to ask them about my investment portfolio.
Yeah, they should know. They probably already know anyway. Okay, welcome. Boom, baby. Welcome to Learn to Code Live. I am Josh. This is Michael and Fido with us.
Hey.
Follow me on Instagram at EatLiveProgram and also subscribe to my OnlyFans page. You guys think I should make OnlyFans? I've been thinking about it.
Yes.
I was thinking about how long I could
There's
do
only
it.
one right answer to that question.
Think about how long I could do it.
It's
with a
not
straight
no.
face.
It has 3 letters.
Yeah.
Think about how long I could do it with a straight face until people figured out that it was all just a ruse and just try to be as serious as possible.
You could can you actually make a male OnlyFans?
I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean, that would be like discriminatory, right?
I'd like to know what content goes up on that though, honestly. Like the top male only fans pages.
Let's see.
Like is it nudes? What is it?
Probably shouldn't go to niche porn sites.
Yikes.
Bad.
Tread carefully,
I'm
Josh.
so glad we're so inclusive in this group, you know?
Men of OnlyFans.com. Yeah, I probably don't want to do this in stream. Fuck. I hope we don't get. I hope this video doesn't get banned. I don't know. That's probably a topic for.
Black male OnlyFans.
Probably a topic for a different platform, I guess. Whatever.
I just want to know: is it all sexual, or what?
I mean, dude, I guess you could like do like videos of you like
Building things.
installing a cabinet in your house in your underwear. I don't know. That's probably what I would do.
Okay, so like a little
that.
sexy twist to
Yeah.
some masculine, like mowing the lawn in your boxers.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
I just want to know: is
all right, so just
not a bad way to pay your rent, brother?
Hey, dude, whatever. Dude, if I could pull it off and like get a substantial following, and maybe I got like I don't know 100 subscribers on there.
Yeah.
At the end of the 100 subscribers, I would just be like, all right, guys, this is all a joke. I just want to let you know you guys are all fucking suckers. All right, there goes the curse words. Too late.
Damn.
We'll just be like, you guys are all a bunch of suckers, and you got played. Sorry about you. Okay, let's touch on where we left off at. So well, first let's just read the comments because I'm not gonna lie, I don't fucking remember. All right,
We get comments?
code comments, yes.
Oh.
I said need while loop to wrap make guest call where while loop breaks when the game state changes from okay, we have this in a while loop and it's gonna break. It's not gonna break currently because we need to get the game state changes to go from guess to win or die. You make a call to make guess, pass argument to make guess, call below. Currently, there is a never-ending while loop. Okay. Next, we need to. Oh yeah, So we made this little like hash map thingy on the fly that sets it equal to essentially the distinct letters in the secret word that is being created at the time. Okay, we're going to use this guy or letters guess to compare what the input from the users gave to, if it's in this little array or this little map thing, then it's going to be set from false to true. And so if it's true, I guess then we could just display the letter instead of underscore, and then if it's false we can still display the underscore. And we have another getter for get letters guessed, which currently is just printing letters guessed. And here's some to do. Okay, make guess. So we have to validate the arguments from the user, right? So we need to make sure the input's good. It's not like a 0 or 1. It has to be a character, or it has to be in the alphabet, which maybe we can use this to keep track of. I'm not sure. We can probably scrap this. Maybe I don't know. If you guys remember. And then we need to check if the letter was guessed already. Then we need to make the game logic to compare, and then we need to update the state. So I think that's pretty much it. And then this thing's done, right? Anyway, let me pull up the command prompt.
You right.
Yeah, you right.
You right.
Let's go up a drive. Another one. Let me see. The workspace, and then it's hangman. I think. Yeah. And source. Let me clear that. No. Let me make this guy look a little bit less obtrusive. Let me move y'all's little beautiful pictures out the way. All right, so Ruby, no caps, Ruby, and then it's CLI.RB. All right, it should like throw a never. Oh wait, yeah, it's after this, so it's probably gonna run forever. Crash my computer. ENTER. It's a valid command. Didn't I type enter? What's going on here? Is enter no longer a valid command? What the fuck? What? All right, let's see. Man, this sucks without a debugger, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. So all this old code we wrote is working right.
Pain is growth.
Pain is indeed growth. Please enter a valid command. Let's see, puts, let's get started. Type enter. ENTER. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm typing, homie. ENTER. Enter. There we go. Why didn't that work before? All right, as you can see, the never-ending loop is never-ending. So let me just kill that. Okay. So I guess for now, maybe we should remove this loop until we get the game logic, the make guess logic to work. And because if we're not passing back a change from the game state, then if the game state's always gonna be guessed, then this is just gonna go on forever. So actually, let's do that. Comment this out. Comment the whole chunk, and I'll just do @game. Get game state. Wait. Game.make guess. What am I thinking? Boom, baby. Okay. All right. And let's make sure that this function gets called again. So we should see testing. We are now in the make guess function. Enter. All right. Cool. See, testing. We are now in the make guess function. All right. So that worked. So guys, what do you think we should work on next? Should we do the validate argument stuff next from user?
Sure.
Okay. We need a variable for letter guessed or user input. We'll just call it. Do I want to do this before the make guess function? Yeah, I do. And then I want to pass it into here. So I want to say, let's say we'll just call it user input for now. Equals gets dot, which again, gets is like the input receiver for the terminal. Do we need chomp? I don't even remember what chomp does. What does chomp do? Let's see. Let's see. Ruby string chomp. I think it just takes off the white space. Okay, chomp is a string class method in Ruby, which is used to return new strings with the given record separator removed from the end of the string. So if present, let's see. Here, string is the given string, returns a new string having no record separator from the end or nil. Then we probably don't want to use that then. Then this should be, actually it's gets, okay. And I guess we want to pass user input in the make guess function. So we're gonna have to put that in here too. So we'll just say user input. And then we need to validate arguments. So we need to say, we need if, and I don't even remember how the if works in Ruby. So I'm sure we have one in here somewhere, right? Let's see. Nope, don't remember. Got to go back to Google. If statement Ruby. All right, let's see what this looks like. If condition, then I need some real syntax. So, okay, if and grab this whole little statement here, and we're gonna change it. We'll just say if true, else if true.
Josh, are you sure you're not just smurfing and you actually like know this shit? Like you're a Ruby expert?
I actually am the best Ruby developer in the entire world.
You actually wrote Ruby.
I am the
original author.
The original Ruby man. I'm the Rain Man.
Ever since we started working on Ruby, I keep seeing the word Ruby everywhere, guys. What does that mean?
Do you really? Because I
do actually. I don't know. It's probably just confirmation bias.
You think?
Could be.
Dude, no, I have been too.
Could be the universe as well.
Yeah, it's your psyche telling you.
Yeah. It's like when you want to buy a car and all of a sudden you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Vibrations.
Also false.
You're just manifesting it, Fido.
Yes.
It's law of attraction.
Yes.
The law of attraction.
I'm gonna close my eyes and think about Bitcoin for an hour. So it just shows up in my Coinbase account. That's how it works, right?
I think so. I don't know. That's how it's been working for me. So fuck it.
It's like a pointer, right? It's like a pointer, and then you do the work. Is the idea?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? All right. The syntax highlights all mess up. Why is it? So I added this other one in here. Oh no! I'm gonna shoot the Ruby developers, dude. Well, we should just have like 3 else's. We need one to make sure it's dude, Michael, we could probably use regex for this, right?
So what are you trying to do here? So you've got your input.
We got to validate the input. So we need to make sure that it's just a letter from A to Z.
Yeah. So yeah, you could do a regex match. If this were Python, you could check whether user input was in the list of lowercase letters. Like there's a kind of a quick way to do that. You could do a quick length check, and you could ask yourself, okay, let's just say that the user entered in like ABC. We could either error out immediately and say that's not a valid guess, or we could have the CLI parse out just the first letter and pass that to game, which would make your CLI a little bit more robust and your game a little bit simpler, right? So in terms of like your guarantees, you can ask yourself, do I want to make input validation the responsibility of my game, or do I want it to make it the responsibility of whoever is using my game, so that by the time make guess gets called, the game could safely assume that argument is already valid, right?
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I was reading something. Can you back up?
I'm just saying that in this case, it might not make an enormous difference, but it's good to make a conscious decision whose responsibility it's going to be to validate input from the command line. So if what we're looking for is for the user to enter a letter, but they could really enter in just about anything.
Yeah.
If we have to validate or sanitize that input, should that be the responsibility of the game when it gets a string argument? Or could we make that the responsibility of the CLI, in which case we could basically bake in a guarantee to our game class that, hey, whenever somebody calls make guess, you can just assume that that argument is valid and you don't have to do any checking yourself.
That's actually good. Actually, let's. So
you filter it pretty much on the front end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like front end or back end. It's like how paranoid do I want to make this game? How robust do I want to make it? Because the more assumptions we can assign to like these different inputs, the less robust our game has to be.
Yes. So that every time user input gets passed and to make guess, we already know what variable it's going to be or what type.
Yeah, well, yeah, we know what it's going to look like.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I prefer that, dude.
And there's trade-offs too, right? Because so for example, let's say that you made that validation the responsibility of your game class. Now, if you were to implement multiple CLIs, you would only have to implement validation once versus 2 or 3 times, right? At the cost of making your game implementation a little bit more complex.
Right.
Yeah, and we already talked about keeping as much of the input-output stuff inside the CLI as possible anyway, right? So I think that'd be the smartest thing we do. So
yeah, and it just kind of comes down to, well, what do you consider input? Do you consider input just to be whatever mechanism grabs, keys from the keyboard and throws them in a variable, or is input more in the context of our games domain where input means like a guess?
Yes. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Distracted for a second. All right, boom. Okay. So are we gonna do what did I say? Let's see. A regex. Let's do regex match. Ruby. We'll just look at the Ruby docs. I really don't like the Ruby docs. Okay, so a regex holds a regular expression used to match patterns against strings. Can we match it against an array? Regex are created using the / and the %r open curly brace .. close curly brace literals and by the regex : new constructor. Jeez. Okay, regular expressions are patterns which describe the content of a string. They're used for testing whether a string contains a given pattern or extracting the portion that match. They are created. All right, instead of reading how to, let me see. Ruby regex compare.
Well, you have your example there, right? Where they have like a regex for like the Y character. So you have regex literal dot match input. So all we have to do is write our regex, and we know we can use the dot match method and pass a string to it.
So we can say, let's see. I need alf to be sent here. So what I can do is I can say inside.
Yeah, if you're going to go the regex route, then you don't need alf at all.
Why?
Because if you have like a simple regex, like I'll put one in the chat. If you have something like that, that's going to match a single lowercase letter. And if you want to be more, I guess, open, you could support uppercase as well. So you'd end up with something like that would be your regex literal. And then you would just throw dot match at the end of it. And you'd have something like user input is not nil or something like that.
Okay, so let's see.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we can say if user input does not equal, we can say in here, a ... z. Wait.
Well, you're not comparing a string to a regex. You're using the dot match method on the regex.
Yeah, so I don't even have to use I still have to compare it to user input though, right?
Well, you're comparing it, but you're doing that matching via a regex method that Ruby supports. Right? So in this case, because match is a method on a regex object and not on your string, so your user input becomes an argument to match.
Match. Why did that syntax not work? It's going to be user input.
Because it's Ruby.
Yeah, it's because it's Ruby and because we don't know it. Let me see. needle dot match. I think that's for a string literal. So,
the way that you put the A through Z, that regular expression, is that correct syntax?
It says backslash dot dot dot. Did I do 3 dots?
Wait. Pull that up again. That in that case, their dot dot dot. That's a placeholder for your expression.
Okay, so it's
They're
not
not
like
saying actually put a dot dot dot.
So it's not like a dot dot in the for loop or whatever.
Yeah, that's basically saying take your regex you've written and either put it in these slashes or use this curly syntax that we support.
Then can we just say A-Z? How does it know A through Z though?
Well, you're matching against a character group, so normally that would be contained in brackets. Yep, so for a single letter, you would have
so it's just like
open close bracket.
Yeah, so it's just going to be. Let's see. Yeah, so it should just be A-Z. Okay, let's see. All numerical, let's see, all lowercase alphabetical characters. We can do that. We could do lower and upper. Yeah, look at this. Upper, lower. Just like this. Dot match, hello. Let's try that. Do dot match, and instead of the string hello, we're gonna do user input. Is it supposed to have red syntax highlighting like that? I don't even know. Let's find out. Wait, the first one should be if it's not matching that. So, and then else if it matches it, I want to make a call to the function. We can just do it this way. It doesn't really matter. We can just say that sky, move the sky over to here. Boom. Okay. If, else, if, and what is the
you really only have 2 cases.
Yeah. So we can just do that. If
and okay, user input. I'm thinking too is that you might need you might need symbols in your regex for beginning of string and end of string. Otherwise, if you pass A, B, C, it's going to match on A and match on B and match on C. As long as there's an upper or lowercase letter in the string, it's going to match, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, because then this way they could literally enter like they could enter like 3 letters at once, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not really sure what like that double bracket syntax means in Ruby.
We're finding out today, aren't we, boys? All right, I want to see a better
example.
Yeah, let me see. Ruby regex match only single letter alphabet. Let's try that. Stack overflow regex to match only letters, but I want to make sure it's only a single letter. So let's do this guy. How can I write a regex that matches only letters? Well, that's still probably not going to help us because
So normally we would have like a delimiter in your regex that I think at the beginning of the string is like this character, this like caret character above 6 on your keyboard. And then at the end of the string, you'd have a $sign. So that first symbol is basically saying matching starting at the beginning of the string, and a $sign is up until the end of the string. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just like this right here.
Like,
what does the plus do to it?
So the plus is associated with that character class that he has in brackets. So if they were to remove that plus, then that would basically say, match this against, basically this needs to be a string that starts with a letter like A through Z and ends and only has one character in the whole string. But by adding the plus there, they're matching against one or more of characters in that class. Yeah. But in our case, we don't want to match like AA or AAA.
Right.
Puts. Please guess a letter. Ba-boom. Okay. Ruby seal blah, blah, blah. Enter ENTER. Make sure I spelled it right this time. Enter. Say the word is, let's see. Oh, wait, actually, I need to move this guy. Move this guy up here. Now we can actually see better. Enter. Please guess a letter. So I'm going to guess L. Please enter only a vowel letter of the alphabet. All right, so that L's got,
Yeah. So if you look at that regex you're using right now, where you have colon upper, colon lower, the syntax for Ruby might be saying you need a match against a string that starts with one uppercase letter, ends in a lowercase letter, and is 2 letters long. Right. So because I'm pretty sure in the example that you pulled that from, they were matching against the string hello, and it matched H and E, which isn't what we want.
Yeah, you're right. Well, then we should just do the, I believe it is. Let's see. A dash Z. Let me just see this one first. First and foremost, let's see if that works. Enter. Okay, so that worked. But now we need to accommodate for a uppercase too, so which is going to be
Capital A.
Uppercase A dash uppercase Z. You can see how well versed I am in regular expressions. Let's see. Enter. Please guess the letter A. Okay, let's try it with a capital letter. Enter. Just in case dumb fuck wants to enter a capital letter. All right, great. Beautiful. We did it. Okay, nice. So now we're actually getting the user input. And let's see, just to see. User input. Print it out to make sure we don't have a damn debugger. Enter. A. E. Great. Awesome, boys. Okay, now we just need to compare, right? So let's do, so we don't need to validate the arguments anymore because it's already valid. Check if letter was already used. And we have, actually, yeah, this is the initialized. We have this guy right here. So I need to compare. I need an if. Probably need another if. If. I wish this IntelliSense like finished off Ruby for me better. Okay, so if, let's say puts hi. Go. Okay, if let's see, at letters. Wait, no. Let's see. If well, it doesn't really matter which one's first. If user input, wait a second. Definitely gonna need a for loop for this. Is it gonna have to go into? Is the for loop gonna have to be inside of this if or outside? I think the if's gonna have to be inside the for loop.
Because you're trying to iterate over the word to be guessed, right?
Yeah, but maybe we could use regex for this too.
How would you do that?
If regex match user input to fuck, we can't use regex for that. Man, if only there was a match function that we could call. Does that sound like a good idea?
Well, what I'm thinking is, you know that like the mechanism that we're using to check whether or not a letter's already been guessed is whether or not that letter has a corresponding key in our map, right? In our letters guessed map.
Yeah.
So we have to decide as a convention, are those keys going to be stored as uppercase keys or lowercase keys? And we're going to be consistent with which way we choose to do that. So like, do you have a preference for that?
Let's do lowercase.
Okay. All right. So let's say that we're going to do lowercase. Now, can you scroll up to words, your words array? I just want to make sure they're lowercase. Okay, cool. So we're just going to assume that anything in that words array is going to be lowercase always, all the time, right?
Yep.
So we're already validating on the CLI side that user input is a single letter, right? Because it must match that regex.
Yeah.
If we know that game it's going to be more useful if game could always receive lowercase letters in the make guess call, so that it doesn't have to be responsible for any kind of case conversion. So before making that make guess call, we might as well pass it like dot lowercase or dot to lowercase or whatever Ruby is. Drop that case down. Down case, yeah.
Nice.
And that way we can just assume, just like make guess can assume that this is a valid letter, it also can make a safe assumption about the case of that letter.
Very nice.
It says down case, but I don't see this working. Well, IntelliSense didn't pull it up. I mean, do I need the function call to invoke it? I don't think I do.
I don't think you do. I would just let it run.
Yeah.
And
can you put the user input with the down case method on it and see if it works? I mean,
we can just run it and then pass it to upper and see. Enter. All right, I'm gonna give it uppercase A. All right, that works.
Fuck yeah. Sorry, Josh, I cussed.
Ballin'. Okay, it's all good, dude. Cuss as much as you want, my friend. I really don't
thank
care.
you. Excellent.
Actually, this needs to wait. Why is this in so far out? This is bugging me, dude. Let's see. Oh, okay. This actually just needs to go in. Bunch of dogs in here. Bunch of dogs. Okay, so now okay, so now we know we have that solved. So now we know that it's always going to be lowercase, right? What about if? Okay, so now you check and compare, and then if it's was it already guessed? So we have our letters guessed map. We have our secret word length. Number of guesses. We have user input. We need to match user input to we need to compare. Are we going to compare with the letters guessed map? I think so. Except, man, do we need another data type to like hold the letters guessed that doesn't have a value set to it? And then, or that'd be too much. We should be able to use this. There should be some way to knock out that. And also, okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to take the user input. I want to also compare the user input to this letters guessed map on line 21. And if it's been in there, then I want to check, iterate through it. And if it's been in there, then I want it to set the value from false to true. Okay. If it's true, I want it to display that letter on the terminal instead of underscore. So, let me think here. Let me do some noodling. So I have user input. Let's see. Might as well start typing stuff for I ... 3. And let's see, for I in Guessed. Letters guessed. Okay. For I and letters guessed, we're gonna take
The if statement, if I matches
if
user input.
if I equals user input. How to finish off an end. I guess we're gonna need else if as well.
Could you just summarize again what you're trying to accomplish?
Oh yes, I certainly can. Okay, so we have the user input now in the game. Okay, I want to compare. I want to be able to use the letters guessed map. I want to iterate through that and compare. I want to compare the user input to everything in there, and then if it is inside there, switch the flag from true, from false to true.
Right. So you're updating the state basically, right?
Well, then we're gonna updating
like
this to the letters guessed, right? Not game.
Yeah. So when we created the letters guessed map, we chose to use a map data type or a hash table as opposed to an array, right?
Yep.
So what is like the number one advantage of a map over an array when it comes to finding an element?
Don't have to iterate through it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Very nice.
Let's thank you. I'm losing it, Michael. Fuck.
You got this.
Guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. I'm taking off to work, guys.
Adios, my friend.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you guys. Miss you.
See you on the other side, bro.
See you on the other side. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Think about me.
Always. Always, baby.
We don't have a lot of time left anyway. Let's finish this up, Michael, and then we can kill it.
What are we at? Aren't we already over the hour? Well, I guess we didn't start streaming until like 11:30.
Yeah, with all the technical difficulties. Okay. We can finish this.
We're not very good like technical mentors if we can't even get a live stream working.
Yeah.
But I blame Zoom. I don't blame you.
Dude, you cannot blame me. It's 100% Zoom's fault.
Yep.
Garbage after this new update, man. I definitely need to get OBS running for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go do that. But okay, so if user input equals let's see. If I wait, I was doing the what am I thinking, son? We're not in loop anymore. If user input so we have a map.
Yeah. I think this is like a good instance where just writing out in plain English what we're trying to do would be helpful as a guide to actually writing out the code line for line.
If user input is within the @letters guessed map, set the letters guessed map flag to be, let me put this on a new line, to be true where the key equals user input. If the user input is a key in the guessed map. Does that sound more clear?
Yeah, that sounds totally clear. And then do we need to accommodate for the case where a guess is repeated?
Yeah, we need to do that too.
Because I think our CLI definitely isn't going to be responsible for that.
Nope. So we need another else. Every time I add an else in here, it always gets all squirrely on me, dude. It turns like blue. It thinks this is like
Is that syntax correct?
I think so. Let me see.
Are you sure there shouldn't be a space?
After Let's check it out. We just looked at some. All right, if, else, if, else.
No E.
ELS. Oh, did I put? Duh. Okay, that's cute. There's no E in there. All right, so whoa. All right, and then yeah, if it was already guessed too. Are we in an array to hold all the ones that were already guessed?
Well, you already know at any point in time you can generate a list of all of the letters in the word that were already guessed, right?
Yeah.
By iterating through your map.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do that. Let's do that. Let's actually make the check for if the user input is a key inside the letters guessed so far. So if user input equals letters guessed, let's see. Can IntelliSense do anything for us today? Probably not.
Help us out, IntelliSense.
Let's see, baby. Let's see. Letters guessed. Letters guessed. Ruby check. If was inside. How to check if a certain key value pair exists in an array. I have an array of hashes as JSON. Oh, no, too much. Okay. Ruby hash cheat sheet. What methods do we have access to? Can we have H key element references? There we go. So I think we could do something like if user inputs, if letters guessed, I'm assuming the first thing is going to be key. So we're going to user input. Right.
And you know what? Because we have these guarantees that user input is going to be a letter and a lowercase letter, by the time it makes it over to the game side, you don't even have to think of it as user input. You could just think of it as letter. Because it's a little bit more descriptive what we're dealing with at that point.
Let's call this young lad letter then. All right, letter like that. Okay, and then we can just update. And we're gonna say at letters guessed. Letters guessed. Oh, there are two of these in here. Guessed. Letter. Oh, there's letter and letters guessed. I believe it's letters guessed. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a letter guessed in your code somewhere?
I think that might have been from a comment. Let me see. Yeah, that's from my comment.
Oh, okay.
Because this IntelliSense is garbage.
Thank you, IntelliSense. IntelliSense is saving the day with its omnipotent, omniscient wisdom.
We should have picked a. No, it's fine. It's
Maybe
fine.
our next project should be IntelliSense for VS Code, because apparently whoever's doing it now isn't doing a good job.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad of an idea, man. Okay, so then this should update it too.
So real quick, in that if condition, that assumes that you're already going to have an entry whose value is true, right? You're saying like if letters guessed A is true, then set it to true.
Yeah.
Right. So in our case, we just want to make sure that we're looking at an entry where either it's
false,
where it has an entry but it's false, because we have to distinguish between two cases, similar cases. One where this letter isn't in letters guessed, which means that this letter isn't in our word. And the other is where it is in letters guessed, but its value evaluates to false, which means it is in the word, but we haven't guessed it yet.
Then we can just return, for now, we can just return puts. You have already guessed this letter. Okay, and then in this else if, we can say at letters guessed, where the guess is the letter from the input from the user. Let's see. Yeah. Then we're going to update it. We're going to say add letters guessed. Letters guessed. Where it was guessed from the updated user equals true. So this one's a check. Okay, this one's a conditional check, and this one's an actual update. Okay.
So in your else if condition, what's the condition you're really checking for?
If
so
actually,
okay.
Yeah, should I just write it all out too?
It might just be a little bit more clear. I see what you're doing, because basically, if we've reached this else if condition, then we can assume that there's an entry that isn't true. So it's in our map, but its value must be false. It might be, just for some new person reading it, a little bit more clear what you mean by that.
Gucci baby. I'm a good guy. I'm a swell guy. I'm willing to let the people know.
You think about the little guy, the intern.
Yeah, you got to think about the poor intern who's gonna have to deal with all this shit.
Right, 5 years from now.
Fucking.
When our enterprise cloud-based hangman application service layer takes off and competes with AWS,
dude,
somebody's gonna have to maintain that. We're gonna be on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna be on a beach in Cancun sipping margaritas.
Mai Tai.
Mai Tais with some
Thai iced teas.
Some beautiful ladies. Beautiful and young. Okay.
Everyone's allowed on my beach.
There's really only two conditions. Is the third condition we got to check for, or what?
For who can be on the beach?
Yeah.
Beautiful and young, but what was the third one?
Sexy.
Oh, okay. No, must present Bitcoin for admission.
That's cool. I'm cool with that.
We'll make it 4. I'm okay with 4.
But what about the letters guess check though? We have it as third else.
Oh, yep. So else could I mean, what does that leave out? It basically leaves out it's not in the map, because we're not going to write any code that ever sets an entry whose value is not true and not false. Like the value is cheeseburger or something.
Right. Return. Okay, I'm going to return it in here for now, but we want it to return. I think we want output to the terminal to be returned inside the CLI. But for now,
right. Yeah, for now, we can at least see, because we don't have a debugger, we can at least see what case we're hitting.
Guess wrong, sucker. Okay, cool. So
should have stayed in school.
I'm kind of scared to run this, bro, but let's do it. Compile. Great.
Tight.
Enter. All right. So, all right, let's actually play. So the state of the word is blah, 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 blah. It's a 6-letter word, dude. What do you think?
6. Okay.
Let's start with a vowel. A, E, I, O, and U.
All right. Let's go with E.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Beautiful.
Is Vanna White gonna come on the stream?
Can
we get her?
Hopefully. Okay, I think that letter was actually guessed, but I think yeah. So I didn't put a return in here. So let's actually put a return.
So real quick, just one thing I'm seeing in the conditions for our if and else if statements. I think you're using an assignment operator when we want to be using a comparator, like a comparison, right? Where we have that. Yeah. So we have if at letters guess letter equals true. Yeah. Otherwise, who knows what sorts of, fuckery is gonna happen there.
Thank you. I did not think about that. All right, please guess a letter. It's 6 as well.
Let's just 6 again. Shit.
User input E.
Nothing happened.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, you either return something or you can put it right
up here. I have a return up here first. So let's see.
I would just drop all the return statements because all of these cases are exclusive. You're only going to hit one puts.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, because there's a difference between returning a string or printing something out. which is just side effect.
This one's 6 too. What are the odds, dude? I'm going wrong here.
Is it all 6?
Let's make. Wait, it was been printing out the. Yeah, it's been printing out different ones. Just the last 3 of it is 6. That's 666, homie. I don't know. Should we exit now? I'm gonna guess E.
You might want to wipe your OS.
I'm gonna guess E.
All
hey,
right.
you guessed wrong, sucker.
Damn it.
Wait a second. But I can already tell that there wasn't E in here. I forgot. I was printing this out. Oh wait, I just wrote it wrong. You guessed right. Oh wait, never mind. Nope. Okay. Huh. Okay,
so number let me see here. Else if letters guessed. Yeah, you would think that else if would run.
Yeah. For sure.
So one thing you could do just as a quick sanity check is you could actually print out that expression at letters guessed letter and just see what the hell is actually stored there when this make guess gets called.
Yeah, I think that's
just to see if it's something we even expect that it, for it to be.
We don't have a debugger, right? So this is all
right. Well, we are the debugger.
Yeah, we are the debugger.
This is just blood, sweat, and semicolons. Sweat equity.
Letter.
If you want to get in on the ground floor as an investor for our Hangman app that's going to take over the world, please email Josh at eatliftprogram.com.
And you can't use debuggers either. Okay, let's type in. Guess a letter. So we already know up here that E is inside of here. So we're gonna say, we're gonna be like, hey, E, user input. Why didn't it print out the user input? Hey, you guessed wrong, sucker. Let's see, user input E. This should have printed out. Why?
So it could be that for whatever reason that entry doesn't exist, like it's nil. And if you call puts with a nil value, nothing happens. Yeah. So maybe actually, can you switch back to your terminal output where you print out that map? So we have V false, O false, L false, U false, and you guessed E, right?
It's not even printed out the map, the map at the input of the user though.
Yeah.
Letters guessed. A. Oh boy.
And letter is definitely E.
Yeah, it was definitely in there for sure. Is it this? I think the syntax of this might not. Let me see. Fuck it, let's go back. Key value Ruby. Back to Google again because we don't have a class hashes. Okay, grades. I guess
so let me think. One thing you could do is verify that it looks like letter, the argument is a single letter, but just in case there's some weird ass like control character or something in there, you could verify that length is equal to 1, which it should be. It'd be really weird if it wasn't, but you never know.
That length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Make it all nice and clean, like.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So we'll run that and we'll see what we get. Uh-oh. Oh, it wants you to call toString.
Apparently people need it, but nobody really knows why they need it from a strictly scientific point of view.
I guess it's storing it as a char. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
People who are deprived
Dot two underscore s. Dot length.
Well, no. So length was the integer value. So we actually need dot length dot toString. Because we were still trying to print out a number basically. Just not in a number data type.
You're right. Okay, let's see. E.
Okay. Yeah. So our input length is 2, right? So now we have to figure out how is E have a length of 2. So one thing that you could do is just iterate over your letter argument the same way like you're iterating over your map on line 23. We could use a for loop. Or we just hard code it and you could just have puts letter index 0, puts letter index 1. And maybe from that we can decipher which of those index positions actually holds the letter. I'm thinking it could be that, are Ruby strings like C strings where they're null terminated? Where they have like a nil at the end of them?
It's something like that, but
because probably E is probably at the beginning, but we don't know what that last index position actually holds.
Yeah, you're right. Ruby CLI.RB. Enter. Okay, enter. Please enter valid command. Why is it doing this again? I definitely typed enter. You fuck. All right, there we go. All right, let me guess. E. User input. User length. Hold on a second. What?
So it actually didn't output a length there, right?
So letter at 0 as index 0 is the actual 1, and the letter at index 1 outputs nothing.
Okay, so it could be that the second position is like a terminator, like nil or some terminator character.
Yeah.
Or it could be a control character. I think if we can safely assume that our letter is always going to be in that first position, then what we can do is actually have our CLI layer parse out just that one substring, that character, and pass that, so that by the time game gets its hands on it, it doesn't have to care about this stuff. It's going to get a string that is definitely length 1.
Okay, so son of a bitch.
So we have our user input dot down case, and that expression right now is still giving us a string of length 2. So we might be able to just index into that, grab the first letter, and that's still technically a string, I think.
What about we do this? Set a new variable in here, down case, and just pass it at the first index.
Yeah, I mean, technically on line 63, when you make that assignment, you're going to have a variable called letter that has length 2. So if you're okay with that, then I think that works.
Oh man.
It's just that semantically, if you want to be passing around this variable called letter, it might avoid any confusion in the future if we ever expand on this code to make sure that letter definitely only holds one letter.
All right. So what do you think we should? What should we do?
Well, I would do exactly what you wrote down there, but just take that index where you're pulling out the first character and just move that to the line where we're assigning to our letter variable. Right. So right there at the end of line 64, you're basically indexing into the first position of your letter variable. So just move that indexing up to your down case. So we have user input, which is a string, dot down case, which also gives us a string. We'll just index into that expression.
That.
Yep.
Or should we do I have the user input 0?
Either one. I think either one should work fine.
Okay. How do I keep killing my terminal? Good grief. SRC. All right, Ruby. Enter. All right, guess letter E.
Is it 6 again? What kind of voodoo is going on here? Okay.
Something else going wrong now because it's saying they say the word is 3.
Yep. So it's saying on line 45 where you're. Oh, that's why. So your lines 45 and 46 aren't really valid code at this point because letter only has a length of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think.
Hey, hold on. Crap! I really gotta take this call.
Take it.
We're live. All right, hold on.
We're live.
Yeah, just occupy. I'm just gonna mute.
Okay. YouTube. How has your day been going? Have you been having a good one? Has your day been full of new features and enhancements and bug fixes? Or has your day just been full of syntax errors and, broken compiler features and failed deploys to your cloud hosting platform? Tell us about it down below in the comments. And while you're at it, please do like and subscribe to Eat Lift Programming on YouTube and follow Josh on his Instagram at Eat Lift Program.
I thought I muted, but I didn't.
Did you mute it?
Did you hear me?
I didn't hear you, but did YouTube hear me?
I heard you. So I'm assuming
okay.
I heard you. Okay, 6. Say the word is, let's guess the letter. Trace back, initialize gameplay, game 45, make guess, no implicit conversion and nil, string type error. Okay, 45, 45, 45, 45. Wait, game.45. Game.45.
So you already removed that code, right?
Yeah, did I not save it? Let's see.
Well, you have the little white circle still. So I think we're golden now.
Yeah, baby. Let's do it. All right, enter.
All right, fingers crossed.
Oh.
6 again. Nice, bro. Nice.
Cool.
Winning, baby. Hashtag win.
It is. Oh, man. Beautiful.
Hashtag Ruby.
Fucking awesome. Okay.
That felt pretty good.
Let's leave some comments. Oh, actually, we know what to do now.
Yep.
We have to make game logic. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much is the game logic.
Well, yeah. So we've got we're updating our letters guessed dictionary when it makes sense to, basically when they got a guess right. Mm-hmm. In the first condition in the if portion of that block. Actually, no, is that right? You have already guessed. So in the if condition and also in the else condition, both of those are scenarios where they guessed a letter wrong or they wasted a guess because they'd already guessed it. So for either one or both of those, we probably want to update another part of our game state, which is number of guesses left. Because if you guess something wrong, we'll just want to decrement that counter, or I guess increment that count. Is number left. So we want to decrement, subtract 1 from num of guesses left. And then if you guess a letter that's already been guessed, I think you said on a previous stream that we want to punish the player by basically having that burn a guess as well.
Yes. Okay. All right. We'll do that. And then, okay. I got to go make this fucking phone call. Do you have any final words, Michael?
Like on final words.
On anything, baby.
Anything. Oh, discipline and persistence is what gets the hangman hung. That's all I can say, man.
I agree. All right. We're out, guys. Later.
Peace.